Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome to Evolve Flow Express. I'm here today with my friend Shioma. She is also a freelance graphic designer. She does social media editing as well, and she does digital marketing. So
Yes.
if you would like to reach out to her, I will have her information down below of the video. So afterwards, you can definitely reach out to her for any of her expertise. Today, we're going to be talking about spiritual growth, and this season alone is also going to be expanding on spiritual growth. So, Chioma, how are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. I feel so good today.
That's
Feel
good.
really good today.
I'm
How are you,
happy.
beautiful?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm excited, of course, because it's my first episode. Finally stepping into, what I feel like I've been called to do, and expanding on, my journey, of course, of
Yes.
spiritual growth and becoming self-aware, all the different stuff, self-reflection and accountability.
Yes.
So
Right, I know, I
I
know.
feel like it's a great big step, and I feel more aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing in life. So I'm happy. I'm
Yes. Oh,
happy.
yes. I just remember we talked about this and now it's a like it's
Right.
here.
It's
We're in a
here. It's
podcast
here.
right now. So
Like for real.
congratulations on your
Thank you.
journey.
I appreciate it.
Yes. Yes.
And also, I would like to thank you for our talks and everything like that. I
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
Yes. We have our talks, girl.
Right. So,
Yes.
in terms of spiritual growth, what do you feel like would be like a moment that you felt you were becoming more self aware, or like, having your moments of self reflection and stuff like that?
I would say when I just start doing something. So when it comes to like, say I did something messed up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You just have that moment where you're like, you can be messed up for just one second,
One
but
second,
after that,
yeah.
that's it. Like,
Yeah.
so I be feeling like that's my self-aware moments when I have to kind of like clear myself up. But after that, when I know like if it's something bad, then like that's when I'm like, okay, Shelma, that's bad. You right?
Right.
Like, the little
Yes.
angels and that's
Yes.
bad, right?
Self conviction.
Okay, exactly. And I have that.
Hmm.
So, I would say that's one of my moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like that as well with me. Like I feel like I'll have a moment of like being like in an uproar or just like feeling like upset about something. And I'm like, okay, regulate your emotions now. Don't just be reacting. Don't just immediately just lash out and be like, oh my God.
Yes.
So I feel like, in those moments, it's like, okay, am I going to confront myself before someone else has to?
Yes. And
Yeah.
it's that Leo energy where we be
Okay.
like, well, you like, I don't want nobody to come up to me and like say something to me. I know I'm acting a fool.
Yes.
Okay. Like, and
Okay.
that's the self
Literally.
awareness I feel like I have. I know when I be acting up.
Yeah.
So I can get myself together because, that's one thing to have. Like, it's people out here who, they struggle with having a self awareness.
Yeah.
So it's a lot on them when it comes to like, dang, did I do that for real? Like, no, it's because of them. It's a whole blame game.
Now you're
And
immediately deflecting.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. And I'm transparent. I used to be like that. So
Mhm.
I'm definitely like better
Yeah.
than what I am. Not better than everyone, but better than what I was.
Yeah.
So,
And I
yeah.
think that's a big part of it as well. Like not feeling like, oh, just because you've learned something new or you've progressed in a certain area of like even just your own spiritual growth or just like, you know what I'm saying, just growth in, overall, I would
Yeah.
say. Not feeling like, oh, I'm better than this person,
Yeah.
still keeping that grace
Yeah.
in your heart and understanding that not everybody's moving at your pace, not everybody's thinking the way that you're thinking and going through the same experiences as you. This is a journey for yourself and for you to be able to expand on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that. I feel that.
Mhm.
And it's crazy because, like, we're young. You know what I'm saying? We're so young that we're noticing this now. Like, I'm 25. So
Yeah.
I'm like, when I'm hitting that moment, I feel like I've been here before. Let me just cut the
Yes.
chase. Let me cut the chase, everybody. I feel like I have been here before
For
to the point
sure.
where it's like, when I do have those moments,
Yeah.
it's straight up like, Shiama, you've been through this. Don't go down that road.
Literally. Like,
Don't
don't
go
even
down
go
that road.
backwards.
And that's how it is,
I love that. Like, just a small little self check. And I feel like that's just overall, that's just all important. Like, you have to be able to self regulate, you have to be able to check yourself. You have to be able to hold yourself accountable in those moments and understand, like, yeah, I may have these lashes out and all those
Right.
different things, but if I
Yeah.
continuously do that, just saying that, oh, I acknowledge that it's there, is not the overall, like, saying point of it. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah, make yourself aware. Now reflect on why that happens, and then maybe change it if you don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, if you, because most times that's the reason why we're having that is the reason, I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
why we're having that moment of like, why, why is this, da, 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 like, this is bothering me, why this keeps happening to me.
Exactly.
And you need to really figure it out for you to move past it. And it's something that you don't like. That's why you're checking yourself on it. So
Exactly.
I agree with that. I feel like that is a great, great big understanding for yourself.
Yes,
Like,
yes. And so, like, it's crazy because I even mentioned my age because of what I am trying to present, what I am presenting
yeah.
now with the children's situation. I told you
Yeah.
I'm working with children at Shiloh High School. Shout out to the basketball team.
Okay.
Did a marketing curriculum with them, and the children are learning to do marketing.
Okay. That's
So,
lovely.
within that is such a bigger part. Like I'm an advocate for kids. So when it comes to us right now learning to be aware, these children are watching us.
Are watching
They're
literally.
watching us. So it's like get ready, So
Yeah.
like
Get it
I mean, like,
together.
get ready, get it together because we have been so much into like our parents, where it's like you don't have to be your parents. Though your parents probably put you in like these situations where you're a child, you don't know how to get out of there. But now is a time that we're so, we're how can I put it? It's so much like access to things
Yeah.
nowadays
Mhm.
for us to know that it's time to get ready to
Yeah.
for the next generation.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
putting them in the opportunity where they might not know now. Like with my nieces and my nephews, I always let them know. Like I let them over know. So if they do something like, oh, drop something on the floor and they're mad, I'm not pick it up. You need to pick it up because you're doing too much. That's
Yeah,
the hood. That's the hood way.
that's immediately.
Yeah. And so okay, I'm gonna pick it up. No, I'm like, oh wow, like, are you okay? Like, what are you feeling today?
Yeah.
And some people be like, some weak parents. Da, da, da. But
No.
you gotta understand what's going on with the child before you start naming the child.
Exactly.
Everybody be so busy to be, oh, that's a bad child. He's not a bad child. He's active. And you have to make sure he's aware of that. You're just active, sir. You're active. You know what I'm saying? So
That is so true, because I
yeah,
really feel like a lot of parents, especially our parents, would speak to us in an accusatory like way
right,
instead of like an understanding, like,
right,
let me understand why you are uh acting or reacting in this way. Like, have you seen me do this? And
exactly.
even if we were to correct our parents on something that they might have accused us of, we were immediately like, what, you think you're smart, you think you da da da. It's like, you raised me to be smart,
Right.
you raised me to be intelligent, so why are you upset? And it's like, I think that with us having our own moments of our self-reflection and self-accountability, that will kind of dissipate
Yeah.
that reaction in a parent, from our generation. So I love that. I love that. I love that you're
Yeah.
teaching the kids and showing them
Yeah.
something that could be helpful for them in the future as
Yeah,
well.
because you gotta understand it's more than just marketing. Marketing is the front of it. Behind it is how you're teaching them.
Exactly.
It's not just, oh, put a camera in their face. This is the client, money, money, money. No, I'm gonna teach you how exactly, what the guy just said. How to, give them that experience.
Yeah.
You can give experience and not feel like, oh, I'm lower than everyone. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
No, you're being a person, and we kind of like our generation and the generation before us is kind of like we have to be there for them to show them that humanity is a great thing.
Yeah.
We've been like, oh, F them kids and da 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 da, like
Yeah,
showing
like
them
just
that they're by themselves,
yeah.
but they're not.
That is, and I feel like it's such a wave right now, especially to within my growth. Like, I've really tried to gain an understanding of the opposite sex as well in
Right.
terms of their experience.
Mhm.
Because I feel like us as women is, well, I feel like it's on both sides. where we're like pinned against each other. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, men do this, men da da da. And it's like the bitterness of a woman and bitterness of a man. Those both sides are like just constantly like butting heads, like da 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 da. Like
Yeah.
you aren't actually going within yourself to deal without. You know what I'm saying? That's something that my dad always does, like go within to deal without. And that's you doing the inner work to be able to not have to always feel like, I guess something's wrong with everything on the outside more. So
Yeah.
you're more so you're understanding these different things rather than trying to like immediately lash out and have a judgment on something you really don't have any understanding of. I feel like
Exactly.
I guess in that realm of things, and it's still on the wave of like spiritual growth and different things like that. Because I
Yeah.
feel like if I didn't go through my own journey, my own experience, I wouldn't even have an incline to like think of that. Like, oh, whatever, you know.
Yes.
I feel like it could just be, how could I say it? Um, I feel like it could be a thing of um love lost,
Yeah.
and kind of from our childhood
Yeah.
days. Also like just not fully dealing with those things. Like therapy in the Black community
Yeah.
is not seen as a good thing. uh, when our parents grew up, it was seen as something was wrong with your
Yeah.
man, your mind. You're like, oh my gosh, that person's crazy. They're going to therapy. That means they're like nuts, and they need somebody to regulate them. But
Yeah.
and my mom even was like, yeah, we went to the elders. We went to like our grandparents and stuff like that, and they would give us advice. But those grandparents, which would be our great grandparents, was giving advice from survival.
Yeah.
And during those times, survival was not feeding into what the quote unquote white man was feeding you or telling you that you should do and all this different stuff because there was a lot of craziness going on.
Yeah.
But now, with the awareness of how these things really affect us and us never getting the help or, what I'm saying, us having those conversations, those hard conversations in our community and being able to get past those hurdles, those emotional hurdles, those mental hurdles, it has trickled down like
Yeah.
to every generation. And I don't think that we as a community have fully realized that yet. Like
Ye-
seriously.
And I feel you on that, but even when we go back to when you said therapy, shout out to my therapist.
Yay.
Hi girl. Um it's deep. Like when because some people have to talk about what therapy really is.
Yeah.
We've been taught like therapy, oh, you telling somebody your business
That
and
part
they not
too.
even close to you.
Yeah.
It was so much fear that got put into that where it's like when you talk to your therapist, you can tell your therapist what you actually need. Where it's like when I told my therapist, I'm like, hey, I need help with grieving. You know, I grieve so many people that are alive and that are dead. Like people that, boyfriends,
Yeah.
ex-boyfriends,
Boyfriend.
just friends, all of that, people that have already left that, left before other people that died.
Yeah.
So I need help with that. I need help with knowing that when it's happening, I don't have to, oh, let me jump back into that. Let me shoot a I mix you text and all that stuff. Like you don't have to do that. And my therapist, we go through things. We talk through it. And it actually, when I get off of the session, I feel 10 times better. So it's like people have to go through it first. This is the part of the spiritual growth now. You have to go through it first and then think about it.
And then
Think about it if this is for you. Okay, I went to therapy. Well, I didn't like my therapist. It didn't really work out for me. That's okay.
That's okay.
But don't knock anything that you have not tried.
That you have not tried.
Because you're kind of, no, you're not kind of, you are. You're knocking someone else's experience off and not making it valid.
And not making it valid because of what your own personal perspective is. And that is, oh, yes. And that's another thing. I feel like, just being able to understand when to speak, when not to speak, not taking other people's experiences and saying like, oh, let's just have a whole conversation about this. Let's like make it a big thing because I disagree with it. That part as well. Like, I really think that is big. And then even the part of you saying like, I don't like my therapist, I feel like that goes back into when you're saying like the whole experience thing, you know, and how you give
Yeah.
your experience, how you're teaching. That just might not be the way that you need to be taught or the way that you need to express your feelings
Exactly.
with the person. You might need to find a new therapist because it is still
Exactly.
a person. We're still people.
Exactly. And it goes with the spiritual growth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a whole type of okay, so what I've seen just growing up is with the generations, everybody put the generations everywhere.
Yeah.
Every time you see it, oh, your generation don't know nothing. It's blah, 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 blah. And
They
it's
group
like,
everybody together.
why not kind of like do it in a different way where it's like, y'all, our generation now know more about technology.
Yes.
That's big. Put yourself, the older generation have to put themselves in that type of way where they're umping themselves to get better in that skill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know how to do Microsoft Word?
Yeah.
Help me out, instead of,
yeah.
oh, she know how to do Microsoft Word. I don't do that.
And you know that comes from insecurities though, and
Yeah.
that's a part of your inner work
And
as
you
well.
said it.
You have
Said
to
it.
literally work on that because I
Yeah.
see it in my parents. I be seeing it in my aunties, uncles, you know, like just
Yes.
friends of the family, and it's just a matter. Like I see it with women that I work with because I'm usually maybe a younger woman in the
Right.
office or something like that, and a lot of times they're just upset in the sense that they don't know what you know because it's like a tit for tat, like a competition
Telling you.
always. And
Yes.
I feel like
No, I'm laughing because like that means we experiencing the same thing where it's like, why do we have to go through this? And who told us that this is normal?
this is normal,
Especially in the Black
exactly.
communities where we need to get it together.
Like the women are like, oh my gosh, why is it an older woman against a younger woman thing? And like, why are even, and sometimes it's the younger woman against the older woman. Like you're trying to like compete with her because you're mad that you know, maybe you didn't take care of yourself in a certain way so you don't look like her or whatever it might
Yes.
be, but that's the life choice that you made. Like you have to
Yes.
live with your life choices as long as, you know, as long as you're happy. That's
Yeah.
what really should matter. Should be if you're happy with yourself. And I feel like we reflect on others so much for the distraction
Yeah.
of being able to actually do the work. Oh, like, oh, look what she doing. Look, instead of just focusing on ourselves. And it could be selfish. Yes,
Yeah.
it can be. We're naturally selfish beings. But at the end of the day, we also have to know that it's a sense of love for yourself. You're showing yourself enough love to move forward past something that might be actually holding you back.
And you said it right there, sister. You said it right there. But you even have to put it in a way where with them being older and being younger, it's like a barrier between them. But it's through the other generations telling this specific generation that it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Boys and girls. We're going to make sure you guys don't feel connected with each other. And we fall right into that trap.
Fall right into it.
You know, especially our people.
Yeah.
They, they come through and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and no,
it's immediate. Like you got to go through what I went through.
Yeah,
and like I'm just gonna keep passing on down, and I don't think that we even realize how damaging that is. Like,
because we're gatekeeping our own success of a community.
Look how many recipes, look how many medicine, like actual recipes and stuff like that went down the drain because the older generation did not want to share. The older generation did not want to share with the younger generation because they were more so afraid of being knocked out the box. Like, oh, now you're gonna have what holds, and it's a matter of thinking that these things are what makes you valuable.
Yeah.
And you're valuable because of you as a person. Your presence alone should be something of value.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So it's and even back with the recipe things, like that is so big because everybody's on us about. Oh, these young girls don't know how to cook.
Could you teach me? Could you teach me?
No,
I wouldn't mind going to a cooking class.
Something good for my husband. He asked me where I got it from. I said, ChatGPT and Instagram. I swear, I said ChatGPT and Instagram.
ChatGPT, y'all. Okay, ChatGPT is really
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Instagram.
I'm telling you,
yes.
ChatGPT will actually give you some good stuff. But
I don't have a book of my grandmother's old recipes.
That part. We can't find that. We don't have that in the old files or anything like that. And, I feel like even with my mom, it's crazy because she didn't even write down her recipes from when we were growing up.
Right.
And when, like I would remake something that I remember her making like when I was a child. Like I would tell her about it now, and she'd be like, "I made that," because she don't cook the same no
Yeah.
more now. She's like, "Oh, okay. I don't even remember how I made that. I think I did such and such and such and such." And I realized that a lot of the meals that I even thought were like just so great, I still think that they're really great
Yes.
meals. They were from a time that we didn't even have it like that. And I thought we was
Yeah.
eating good,
Good.
girl.
What?
I was like, oh, we eating good
Right? You're like, oh, this
gourmet.
chicken and rice is
My mom is
good.
cooking it up. Okay, and now it's like, wow, these meals are actually not like the most gourmet, like, top tier like type of meal out there, but it's still
Yeah.
really good to me. And I feel like if we actually even think about those things, that's a good reason for one to even write down the recipes that you're
Exactly that
learning, the
I'm learning,
recipes that you're
and I'm
creating, and
telling
you're
you.
you're like really bringing into your own space and your
Yeah.
own family, your own experience. So yeah, we really got to take
Yeah.
on that too.
Yes.
Yes,
And
girl.
so, like, and that goes back to spiritual growth,
Mm-hmm.
where when we are doing these things, that will help you gain more. But then I can see even from their lens where it's like, okay, you know how they always say, like, the younger generation, they want us to, we be wanting things like so fast.
Yes.
Go in the kitchen and go write it down. You see her cooking and go in there, write it down. So even on our ends, we have to realize, okay, it's something else that we have to even think ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't do it then, it's my job to be like, okay, if I want to cook good, I'm gonna go in there. Hey,
Yeah.
mom, you cook on Thanksgiving today?
Because that's the
Yeah.
same thing of like saying, well, I don't know how to cook because, and like, I'm 31. If I
Yeah.
was to say that I don't know how to cook, that's a choice.
Yeah.
That's a choice at this point.
Exactly. It's definitely a
That
choice.
is a choice at this point. If you waited until, 31 to say, I don't know how to cook, we got so many avenues. The same way you got on Instagram, y'all. Instagram chat GPT, right?
Yes,
ChatGPT.
yes.
Them too.
Look, I
Okay.
was like, okay, she said 3 milks of butter.
So I feel like the same way that you did that, a majority of us can do that. So it's a
Exactly.
choice. It's the same way that you choose to stay the same or you choose to change, you choose to grow.
Exactly.
So that is a part of actually holding yourself accountable as
Exactly.
well. And holding yourself like accountable in the sense of like, okay, well, I can change this. I don't have to tell the world that I don't know how to cook. I can learn how to cook.
Exactly.
And then all right. So honestly, I feel like we touched on some good points,
Yeah.
to be honest, and like
Yeah.
opening up about certain things that we really need to expand on in terms of our community. And
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like um me going through this journey, as I spoke about, I think earlier before we even, started the recording and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I was speaking about like my journey of patience.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a part of spiritual growth because you are not learning to just be patient in the sense of being patient just with others. You're more so learning to also be patient with yourself, give yourself
Yes.
grace,
Yeah.
and not patient in the sense of not holding yourself accountable. Of course, you still gonna be like, "Hey, I need a moment of conviction."
Okay. Right. No,
But
you're
you
good.
also literally are still being patient with yourself because it's not going to be an instant. The same way, like you touched on, like how in our generation we want things fast, like we
Yeah.
want it like instant. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's us getting used to social media and how social media has been for us.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we had MySpace and we had the different like Tumblr and different stuff like that that we could go on. It wasn't as fast paced as
Right.
Instagram, TikTok, all these different ones that we got. Twitter is even more like boom, boom, boom faster
Yeah.
now. And I feel like um or what they call it X, I think. I don't
Oh yeah.
but
X.
yeah, I
Oh.
still call it Twitter. So
Period.
but yeah, I feel like we've gotten so used to like the instant, like, oh my gosh, I can instantly get this. Even with ChatGPT, we
Yeah.
get instant responses. We don't have to wait on somebody, different things like that. Everything can be um virtual
Yeah.
nowadays. So it's like I don't have to wait to like get an update for this or whatever. It could be instant because we're on a video call and I could be da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to
Exactly.
go to a location all the time to have a meeting. So I feel like us being so used to that has made us thinking of that in terms of people as well. Like we're thinking that we can move like a robot. Like, oh, you can do this instantly. And
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I can't. No, I can't. And I'm gonna
Mhm.
be honest about that. No, I can't. You need to slow your roll. And having those talks even with yourself
Yeah.
is good to remind yourself of, taking your time. Taking your time with certain things is actually enjoyable. You can
No,
enjoy the ride,
absolutely.
enjoy the process, enjoy the moment of you just being. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Mhm.
always have to be like on the run, on the go. I stopped going out. That's a personal choice of mine. I stopped really going out because I felt like I was always like, oh my gosh, should I go out? Should I do this? Oh my gosh, okay, these people, this is going on. Like always on the run. And
Yes.
I didn't feel like I was having fun anymore. It felt like I was just stressed about going out. Like, and I
Yeah.
didn't feel like I wanted to feel like that anymore. Um, and one thing that my brother had told me, he's younger than me, but he be giving me dropping knowledge, girl.
Yeah, brothers.
So shout out to my brother. But yeah, so he told me that anytime you feel hesitant about a decision, don't do it.
Mm,
And that don't mean like you can't do it later. You can't do it another time. It just means that in that moment, because of the hesitation, you most likely should not. You're
yes.
not even probably going to feel good doing it because you were so like back and forth about the thought anyway.
Yes.
So it's better to be sure about something to move forward than to actually do it unsure. It's not to say don't do something scared. Don't do something like, when you're like in a moment of like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm afraid to do this.
Yeah.
You know that you should do it in that moment. You're just afraid of whatever may be the outcome. One thing that I had learned scrolling on TikTok was like this girl, she's going to school for I think it's like the neurological system or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And so she was speaking about it. She's only been going for like 6 months, but she was saying that, when you are afraid of doing something, like say me being afraid of doing the podcast,
Right.
she said your brain is actually, you're not afraid of the failure, you're
Yeah.
afraid of the success.
Mm,
And that was like a shocker moment for me because it's like that actually makes sense. You're afraid of being successful. You're afraid of it being big, something that you're not used to. You're
yeah.
like that unknown is like, I've never been there.
Yeah.
Like it's more comfortable for me to just stay here unseen and people not knowing who I am, all these different things. So I feel like that is a big moment. And that also falls into what our next episode will be talking about, which
Yes.
is, listening to your inner voice and
Exactly.
and understanding like yes you need to go ahead and go through with what you're actually feeling, what you're strongly pulling
Mm.
towards. So yeah, but
I
anyhow,
am feeling that way, yeah.
this will conclude our episode, our first episode. Thank you for joining us
Oh,
today.
thank you guys.
Yes.
Thank
Again, this is Shioma. Remember, guys, that she does digital marketing. She also does social media editing, and she's freelance. So you guys can definitely reach out to her. I'll have her information down at the bottom of the video.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. On our next episode, we will be expanding on your inner voice and understanding it and connecting more with it.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye. See you again.
Da, 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 da. You see what I'm saying? Like I can do it. You can do that in your head and you'll make it to the time that you're getting to.
Yes.
And the other one I would say, like you said, with journaling.
Yes.
Let